There we go. Okay, my sound isn't working. Some of you are wondering why the camera's wanky. I'm going to turn it and point it down here so you can see me ink this is a piece of art that I'm doing for a fundraiser. And it will go on auction sometime in November. I'll tell you all about it then, but I have to get it done now. Mail it to the guy that works on The Simpsons, who's putting the whole thing on. And this is to benefit St. Jude's. Okay. So I need to do a little bit of secretarial work, so be patient because I've got to, oh man, I've got to turn that volume down on that one. Because I've got another screen up so I can see some of your chat right here. So I'll be able to read your words on this, I think. Yeah, okay. Kind of, anyways. It's not in the right place, and it's going to slide down the table. And so the text is going to be too small. Okay. I'll have to look way up, lean way in to be able to read your text. There we go. Okay. So everyone always complains, I don't do enough art online. But I'll show you that it doesn't get as many views. So here we go. Have my water. I'll tell you all about how I do this stuff. I see the chat coming in. There's all my buddies. This, for those of you who've never watched art before, it's long and boring. Actually, it's not going to be that long because this is just inking. Okay. Yeah. I'm looking over there. I'm looking over here. This is a spaghetti of equipment. Had to bring my mic. I had to unplug my microphone to bring it over here. And then it's going over to that computer. Then I took the camera from over there and put it on this mount. And so here we go. So here's the piece of artwork I will be doing. Let me see if I can. Oh man, there's no way I can turn this camera around. It's upside down. Let me try remounting it. I'm going to have to put it over here, and then point it here. I used to have another camera mount that let me flip it around. Let me see if I can flip this around. Yeah, okay. I think that's how I used to do it. Yeah, I do it upside down for me. Dang it, it's not going to be enough. Let me try. Well, I haven't done an art stream in quite a while, so as you can see, I think we're going to have to remount this. So hold on one second. Let me get this thing. Oh yeah, here we go. We're going to do this instead. Hook it on, down here at the bottom of the table. There we go. Okay, let me screw this on. It's giving me trouble. Don't give me trouble. Am I going the right way on this screw thing? No. Yeah. Wait, maybe. Yes. Okay. We've got it. We got it. I'm going to move this here under the microphone. There we go. There's no way that's going to work, though. Yeah. Okay. I'm tightening up all the things that need to be tightened. It's going to be this kind of a Dutch angle, okay? And it's not going to be, I'm going to ink this guy first. Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay. We're good. I think. Man, this is a bad idea. Okay. We're going to live. We're going to live. I need new equipment. I need a better mount is all. Okay. So what I have up here is just, I use a beer bottle cap for my This is a Newcastle for my inkwell. And then I have a little, I put that up top. So and then I need, where's my ink? Here it is. I'm using Higgins Black Magic ink, which I use all kinds of different inks, but this one it performs reliably. So I don't think I'm going to need that much. Ow! I just hit the mount. And it's going to have a problem focusing too. This camera's autofocus is jacked. See, as soon as I'm not putting on my political stuff, everything falls apart because that's what the whole thing is built around right now. But it's great for you guys that are watching. It builds up my watch hours, and then we can get the channel monetized. So it's good that you're here. Even if you just turn it on and just leave it on, okay? And this is the brush I use. It is a Winsor Newton Series 7 brush. Winsor and Newton Series 7 brush, size 3. And this is what Bill Watterson used to ink Calvin and Hobbes. It's considered one of the best inking brushes you can use. So here we go. I'm just going to dip just the tip of that up in the ink, just a little bit of ink. So this fundraiser is my buddy. He works on The Simpsons, and he every year, well, he's worked on a lot of stuff. I'll put it that way. I'm kind of trouble, so I don't like telling people too much about him in case they go after him because of me. But they're going to do a giant auction of hundreds of artists' comic artwork, comic and animation. And one of the things that they're celebrating is the anniversary. I think it's like the 75th anniversary of Dumbo, something like that. And then they're doing the 30-year anniversary of Ren and Stimpy. So I took all the canceled characters of Earthworm Jim, Ren and Stimpy, and this is Jim, what's his face, Crow, Jim Crow from Dumbo. These are all canceled characters. So I'll just explain it real quick. Up top, it has the word lost causes up there. And the money that we're raising is for St. Jude Medical Center. And so St. Jude is the patron saint of lost causes. So St. Jude's Medical Center takes care of kids with like cancer, you know, like it's there at the end. They're the lost cause. So I just thought it was a fun little play on that theme, those words, since these guys have all been canceled. And so someone is going to want to auction or pay for at auction all of these wonderful canceled characters. And it's for going to be for a great cause. So hopefully it'll drive a lot of the bidding up. So this Jim Crow character was based on a vaudeville act called the Jackson Brothers. And that was Gene and Freddie Jackson were these great comedians and dancers. Freddie Jackson actually did some work with the Little Rascals, and he died in, I think, 2001. But he was a great dancer. Sort of like the twins. You might have seen the Nicholas brothers. Nicholas brothers or Nicholson brothers? I think the Nicholas brothers. You just look them up. They're incredible. They're dancing. It's where a lot of break dancing comes from. They worked a lot with Cab Calloway. And then the original Jim Crow animator on Dumbo was Ward Kimball, did most of these guys' segment. It was originally going to be just one crow or two crows that Dumbo and, is it Timmy, the mouse? And then they ended up making it a whole pack of crows because Ward Kimball ended up making these really funny, silly, goofy crows. This is where Dumbo gets his feather, which is just kind of a placebo because he didn't really need it to fly, but it got Dumbo to believe he could fly. So he goes, "When I see an elephant fly," and these characters are no-nos in the Disney universe now. And I think they're loosely based on Heckle and Jekyll, which is they're also celebrating their 75th anniversary, is Heckle and Jekyll. Nice. I can't, again, when I'm drawing, I can't look up at the chat. So I'm sorry, guys, if you're asking questions. A lot of the people who have watched my shows know everything I say anyways, so they can also often answer your questions. And I am working on another crowdfunded book, and I'll do some of those live streams later. I don't know if it's going to be this week or not, but I'm trying to get to it this week. I have to do 16 pages on a book. Earthworm Jacobus. Okay, now I forgot the exact coloration on this guy's shirt, but because it is going to be watercolored. And I'll probably do that on a separate stream. He wears a little, they're all like zoot suit guys. He's wearing a vest. Anyways, St. Jude is a great place. They have a rule where anyone who gets medical attention there, you know, often it's cancer treatment or whatever. All families are accommodated and none of them ever have to pay a dime. So of course they have to raise a lot of money. And these are like kids, you know, with like just the worst case of bone cancer and stuff like that. So no one ever has to pay if you go to St. Jude's, and I love that. They just take you in and take care of you. So if you want to help that great cause, then you'll put in a bid on this piece of artwork in November. And hopefully it'll go for a ton. I think I have a big enough social media audience to raise a lot. So we'll find out. Start saving up your dough. And if I do this silhouette right, then I don't have to back draw a bunch of white lines, which I don't want. That's something that Disney animation was really good at. Just look at the father in Peter Pan. Look at his pants. They're all black silhouette. They never did one, back drew one white line on them. So part of when I did my YouTube channel, I used to do, for 10 years, you know, I did art. I would do live tutorials. And I mean, like, these are 4-hour streams sometimes, not this one, but I had done 4-hour streams before. And I just realized I was going for the wrong audience all along. I was trying to find people who cared about Earthworm Jim, and then as soon as they found out I was a conservative Christian, they would just go, "I unsubscribe, I'm out." And then I went and found another audience. I found a bunch of conservative Christians. I started doing content for my people, and my channel went from 8,000 subs to 455,000 subs in a couple of months. So now I'm known more for political commentary than I am famous for having created Earthworm Jim and the Neverhood and all my other stuff. So this life is full of surprises. I didn't expect it to happen. I have a lot of fun with it, but I feel like I can talk about stuff that's also important to me. And of course, the artists, especially the lib ones, are just like, look, can you stop doing the Trump stuff and just draw for me? And I go, I like doing entertainment that 100,000 people watch instead of 300, if you don't mind. And I get it. They want to see the draw. Okay, now I'm going to put a palm on this thing here. Okay, good. Looks good. This is a great pose. I stole it from a number of different poses that Ward Kimball had animated. His most famous character that they always put him in charge of was Donald Duck. So Ward Kimball is the Donald Duck guy. He was also probably most famous for animating Jiminy Cricket. And that was he had kind of a funky, he brought a little bit of the UPA animation style into Disney. But he was just he was the most bizarre artist, I would say, of all the 9 Old Men. So the 9 Old Men are Disney's main 9 guys that, were kind of the key sequence guys in all of his movies, were the 9 Old Men. And then one of my friends, later when they started selling Disney art and they saw Jiminy Cricket art hanging in a gallery, and it was going for, I think, $2,000. And Ward Kimball said, "I'll draw you a cricket for $100." He goes, "I'll draw you the cricket." But I just loved how he was really just coarse about it, and they never understood why these things went for so much money, because for them it was almost throwaway material. When you're an animator, you're never looking at just one drawing. You're looking at the movement across many drawings. And it wasn't until later that they started selling the individual drawings. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Oof. It's when you're doing these black fur characters and it's just all flat black ink, it's very hard to think ahead at the clear silhouette and kind of, I can't go in and sculpt around a bunch of detail in there because it's solid black. And then also I'll be doing a lot of shading with the watercolors. So. His tail is just kind of a rat nest. So anyways, they brought in that comedy team of Freddie and Gene Jackson, and they did all their funky dances and stuff. And then they rotoscoped them. So they filmed them and then they animated the characters over some of their movements to get the authenticity. Cover that one up. Okay. It's just cleaner. Work clean. That's inking. These are his spats. which the Zoot Suit, you know, the jazz daddy-o, beatniks and stuff was real big at the time. I seen a baseball bat. I seen a needle done wink its eye. But I be done seen about everything when I see an elephant fly. It's a great song. Okay, that's that guy. Once all that dries, I can pull all the erased lines out, and it will not be a big problem. Let me see, who's next? Let's get up here and let's do Stimpy. We'll do Stimpy next from Ren and Stimpy. I got Earthworm Jim holding him. And he's just kind of sitting there looking like an idiot, which I think is Stimpy's whole gig. Okay. Here we go. So this is Stimpy. And Stimpy is by an animator named John K. John Crisfalucci. Maybe it's Crisfalucci. Maybe it's Crickfalucci. I don't know. I met him a couple times. He was very nice to me. Got into a lot of trouble. But his biggest contribution to animation is he's probably one of the greatest living animators, in my view. A lot like Ward Kimball, oddly, because I think John K. was always going for humor. They say he just wanted a funny drawing. He didn't care if it was accurate, so long as it was funny. So that was the big key. So he allowed his animators to draw them way off model, you know, so long as they were funny. So you'll see some shorts where Ren and Stimpy, you know, they don't, sometimes they have a tail, sometimes they don't. Their models just, you know, they change all over because they were just trying to draw funny drawings. And that really is what John K. was about. I don't agree with all of his, even his humor tastes. I think he thought being disgusting was funny, like shocking. It was a lot of shock value stuff where if your skin crawled, then they were doing it right. And that's one form of humor. This I really want to do with just like almost one line here. Throw it away. Yeah. It's supposed to go over that one. Yeah, John K. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's good. We went to lunch and he looked at my book, Creature Tech. And he looked through, he goes, wow, this is cinematic. Very cinematic. And so he got his start actually at Filmation. Well, he worked on the Smurfs and he did, I think, the Filmation Batman, probably early 80s. With Batmite. And they used to call that like animating on a photocopier. And you already, if you know anything about John K., I just can't imagine him working on the Smurfs and not just being tortured because, you know, he was always lightning in a bottle, and working for that system couldn't have been a whole lot of fun. Well, then one year, they gave Mighty Mouse to Ralph Bakshi, which I can't think of a bigger mistake, but man, did he make magic. And a whole lot of the magic Well, it came from Jeff Pigeon, a lot of it too, who's over at Pixar, and he's a buddy of mine. I like him a lot. So it was really Bakshi's Mighty Mouse, which is one of the greatest Saturday morning cartoons ever made. I believe that was greenlit on CBS by, I think it was Jean McCurdy. Jean McCurdy is the lady who greenlit my show, Project Geeker, back in the mid to late 90s. She also greenlit the Dungeons and Dragons anime show, which I always liked. Okay, I gotta get his butt. Because over here, this is his gray belly color. There. We're getting a little chunky here with the inks. And they need to have more kind of cartoon speed and flow. So I'm slowing down a little too much because they start looking just a little too meaty and chunky. And they should look like great little cartoon characters. There. Okay, so that's him and him. I can go in and erase some of these lines now because I don't want to drag pencil all over the page. I can take that stuff out and it won't smear at all. The ink just is beautiful. It just super stains the page. It does not mess around. Okay. Oh, I caught some of the foot. Suck. All right. Okay. Let's do this arm up here and I'll grab Ren's hand grabbing Jim's arm and hanging from this arm. We'll do next. Anyways, John Kay, the reason why he's the greatest living animator is he really loved like Yogi Bear and Hanna-Barbera cartoons, which were considered they were kind of the dog food of animation. But they, when TV tried doing animation, it couldn't afford to do it. It was just too costly of a system. And Hanna-Barbera really created the system that made it affordable enough to work on TV. So say what you will of crummy Hanna-Barbera shows. And that's what John Kay was raised on, what's the Omadar and Huckleberry Hound and the father and son dog duo. I forgot their names. But Flintstones. I used to watch The Funky Phantom. That cat and that funky phantom ghost. I think Hanna-Barbera spent more times on the theme songs than thinking out the show. They'd have these big, giant brass band kind of, big swing era for Top Cat, Flintstones, the Jetsons. And man, the theme songs were just great. Big horn sound is what I keep thinking of. And so that was a huge influence on John Kay, is just kind of limited animation. What can you do within limited television animation? Well, Ren and Stimpy. I mean, he kind of took almost like 70s acid crazy. John Kay was just an unfettered lunatic and a bit of a sentimentalist too. You could see that in there, kind of like Dan Harmon reminds me of. But there was just a real love of animation and a real love of just wildness. And a lot of that came from the disruption of the 60s that we were raised in. You know, that was always in the background, kind of lunacy and risk taking and danger. And John Kay, I think you really liked the danger. And I mean, hats off to Nickelodeon, because they greenlit it. And first time I watched Ren and Stimpy, I thought, what in the heck are they thinking? And a bunch of my buddies were working on it. And I later worked with a whole bunch of the Ren and Stimpy gang. You know, Vince Waller did work for me on Cat Scratch. Just one of the funniest, nicest, greatest artists, you know. Who else came out of that? Well, Glenn Barr is kind of a juxtaposed type artist. And he's one of my favorite painters. He's great. Great kind of almost like tattoo style, but definitely working in this same genre. And the backgrounder, Tony La Rosa. I worked with Matt Danner and Gabe Swar. Worked for me on Boombots. We had them help storyboard and animate a commercial for Boombots. Matt Danner. And he always did a great John Kay imitation. And, all those kids. Just young animators. That's another thing. Like, no one was doing what Ren and Stimpy did. No one was having fun with animation. Oh, yeah, Augie and Doggy. There you go. Yeah, I see that in the chat. Augie and Doggy, yeah. Speed Buggy. I think Speed Buggy, that had the voice of Paul Winchell. And April Winchell, his daughter, did a voice for me until the Obama years when she absolutely went nuts on me. I said, I hired her to do a voice on Cat Scratch, and I used to listen to her on KABC. I used to just love hearing her on that channel. And then Obama came, and, you know, but I always really liked working. I thought she was one of the funniest people ever. So a lot of Hollywood flowed in and out. Oh, and Billy West did the voice of Stimpy because John Kay did Ren. And then when John Kay got fired from Ren and Stimpy, they had Billy West do both voices. And Billy West did the voice for me of Project Geeker. So he was the main star. So I got to hang with Billy West. And he used to be on Howard Stern at the time. And Billy West was just a really nice guy. Also a lunatic. But, you know, they're just funny. Man, the record sessions were just out of control. Because you record these guys, they come in and they want to fart around. They don't want to read they want to do the job, right? They want to get your crummy script done. Man, I really blew that leg because that should be this one stroke there. All really pulling it all the way down, but ran out of speed. And John Kay would never do a bad hand like this, just sitting there doing nothing. Well, I'm no John Kay. No one is. Come to think of it. Okay, let's get up here to this guy. So John Kay used to have a blog. Oh man, it was an animation blog. And he would break down the backgrounds in Ranger Smith and the Yogi Bear cartoon. And he did his own Ranger Smith and Yogi Bear, which is just amazing. Boo Boo Goes Wild and that. Some of the funniest shows I've ever seen. My favorite Ren and Stimpy episode is Stimpy's Fan Club. I think it's probably the funniest animation I've ever seen in my life. That's saying a lot because I've seen a lot. I just cried. It just made me cry laughing. Okay. And then during the later Ren and Stimpy reboots, I just couldn't watch any of them. You know, John Kay, he just was trying to go too far and just, you know, there is a breaking point, and I think he found it where you go too far. He just went too far and just wasn't, I mean, he was angry, a little too angry. Don't animate angry. Have fun. But yeah, Ren and Stimpy, I love it. It's like it's a cartoon that shouldn't exist. And you look at it and you just go, man, how did that exist? It's all John Kay. So here's Earthworm Jim. He never did nothing to nobody. Great 90s character. I created him, and you guys know the story. It was a great video game. And then I also crowdfund and sell his books. And I will be opening up that store. Not now, but soon. And we'll be crowdfunding more of those books. Oh, it's raining out. Here comes the rain. Blame it on the rain. Okay. We're going to do this arm, this buff arm back here. Because it's really kind of over. It's just in a bad pose. Unclear bad pose. I'm just going to float it back there. Might actually look like a mistake if I'm not careful. Okay. We'll move it on down a little bit here. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't liked this show, give us a like. It is super important for the algorithm. If you have friends who might like to see this kind of inking, post this show all over the net. Because I swear, if this thing gets like 100 views, I'm just not going to be drawing anymore. I'm just going, it's a waste. Drawing's not a waste, but doing it online is a waste because I could do this a lot faster with the camera off. Okay. Remember, if drawing performed like my political stuff, I'd be drawing every day online, but it just doesn't perform. There just aren't that many people. Usually it's artists that want to learn. There just aren't that many artists that want to learn compared to people who want to talk about and argue about politics. I mean, think about it. And YouTube's job is to get people to watch the channel, as many people as possible. But this is my happy place. I mean, this is just, I don't even have to even think. That's why I can actually talk and do this at the same time. It doesn't require any thinking. You just exist and this stuff comes out. It's easy. Easy. Falling out of bed, baby. You know what's hard? You know what's hard? Learn. That is like taking a freaking math class. That's hard. Drawing this stuff, ooh, easy. Okay, so I've done, oh, I missed his backpack back here. Let's get the backpack in. Okay, so now I've done the inking, and I'll probably shut this down to do a watercolor over on maybe my locals channel. Guys, if you're not on locals, that's where I'm uncancelable, over on locals. How's that for a Dutch angle? Oh my gosh. And I'm actually Dutch. So there. Yeah, I'm over on locals. Go to dougtennapel.locals.com. And I'll do the watercolor over there for them, maybe, if I can figure out the live stream again. Ugh, it's all a mess, guys. The computer side of everything is trouble. That's all. All right, well, I'm signing off. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Have a great day. Thumbs up if you like this stuff. Otherwise, I'm the happiest guy I know. I just want to make you happy. I hope this drawing made you happy. Now I'm going to go shut it off.